What if your body has been reaching out to you every single day, trying to whisper a secret about your health, and you simply haven't learned its language yet? Long before any laboratory test gives you a number, and long before a formal diagnosis is ever spoken out loud, the signs are often already there, written right on your feet. Today, I want to share something with you that might completely change how you look at your well-being. Many people believe that the only way to know if your blood sugar is climbing is to wait for a blood test. We've been taught to wait for a piece of paper to tell us how we feel. In my years of talking with people and sharing life wisdom, I've heard the same story over and over. I felt perfectly fine until the results came back. But what I have seen time and time again is that the body starts sending distress signals long before the technology catches up. And the very first place your body chooses to speak up is through your feet. The reason I am sharing this today is simple. I have seen too many friends and neighbors wait until a small issue becomes a big mountain. They thought it was just getting older or tiring days. Today, we are going to change that. I want to show you exactly what to look for. Signs that are visible right now on millions of feet, but are almost always ignored. We will talk about what these signs feel like, what is actually happening inside you, and one simple daily habit for each that can help you stay strong and independent. Sign number 1 is something almost everyone has felt, and almost everyone has ignored. It's that tingling, that pins and needles sensation, or a bit of numbness in the feet. We usually tell ourselves, "My foot just fell asleep because I was sitting poorly." And while that happens to everyone, I always suggest you ask yourself, is this happening regularly without a clear reason? If you feel this often, it's a signal about your nerves. When sugar levels in the system stay higher than they should for a while, it starts to affect the protective coating of your nerve endings. It's a very slow process, which is why it's so easy to miss. Think of your nerves like delicate electrical wires. Every wire has a soft coating to keep the signal strong. When things are out of balance inside, it's as if that coating is thinning out. The signal from your brain to your toes becomes fuzzy or noisy. That noise is the tingling you feel. This is the most common early sign, and it almost always starts in the feet. My daily recommendation for anyone enjoying their golden years: just walk. You don't need to run or strain yourself. A 20 to 30-minute steady, peaceful walk every day is the best gift you can give your circulation. Movement keeps the blood flowing to those tiny nerve endings, keeping them nourished. And start being mindful of added sugars today. Not next week, but with your very next meal. Sign number 2 is often described as the most distressing because it doesn't bother you during the day when you're busy. It waits until the sun goes down, when you are quiet and trying to rest. Many people think it's just the result of a long day or the summer heat. But when the soles of your feet feel like they are burning or radiating heat at night, we need to take that very seriously. This burning sensation is a classic early signal. What's happening is that the nerves in your feet are feeling under pressure, and they start sending the wrong messages to your brain. Your brain receives a heat alert even though nothing hot is touching your skin. It's like a faulty sensor in a home. The alarm is going off, but there is no fire. Your nervous system is simply crying out for help. There are 2 habits I recommend here. First, make sure you are drinking enough pure water throughout the day. Proper hydration helps your system stay clean and supports your delicate tissues. Second, bring more fiber to your table. More vegetables, more beans, more oats. Fiber acts like a gentle brake, slowing down how quickly sugar enters your system, which gives your nerves the peace they need to recover. Sign number 3 is where we move from discomfort to something that can be truly risky. This is the sign that often catches people off guard. They might say, "I had a tiny blister from my shoes a few weeks ago, but it just won't go away." They wait and wait, assuming it will close on its own like it did when they were younger. Most small marks heal quickly, but when your internal balance is off, the body loses its efficiency. The tiny vessels in your feet can become less flexible, meaning the oxygen and nutrients needed to repair the house can't reach the site fast enough. Imagine trying to water a garden with a hose that has a heavy kink in it. The water is there, but it is not reaching the flowers. A small opening that stays open is a door you don't want to leave unbolted. Tonight, after your bath or shower, I recommend you sit down and truly look at your feet. Check between your toes and look at your heels. If you see any cut or break in the skin that isn't improving, treat it with care and keep it clean. If it doesn't look better in 48 hours, don't wait for your next appointment. Seek advice right away. Taking action in 2 days instead of 2 weeks can make all the difference in the world. Sign number 4 is often hiding in plain sight. Most people look at it every morning and think nothing of it, never connecting it to what is happening deep within their circulation. You might notice the skin on your lower legs or around your ankles beginning to look a bit darker, perhaps a deep reddish or even a slightly bluish tint. It is very common to hear people say, "I've just had dark skin on my ankles for years," or "It's just sun damage from being outside." And while that can be true, there is a specific change in color that I always look for. When the flow of life-giving blood is slowed down by internal sugar pressure, your feet and ankles are the first to feel the drought. They aren't receiving enough fresh oxygen. Think of your blood as a delivery service bringing supplies to every part of your body. Your feet are at the very end of the longest route. If the roads become narrowed, the supplies arrive late, and the skin begins to show its distress by changing color. It is a visual signal you can see with your own eyes. A wonderful habit to start every morning is just 5 minutes of gentle movement. While you're sitting in your favorite chair, try making circles with your ankles or lifting your toes up and down. This small act pumps the blood back up and keeps the roads open. Sign number 5 often surprises people because it looks so harmless. Most of us have dealt with dry, cracked heels, especially in the winter. We think, "I just need more lotion." But when your heels are cracking deeply in the middle of summer, or when no amount of cream seems to help, it's a different story. Our bodies have a quiet system that automatically manages moisture and sweat. When things are out of balance internally for a long time, the signals to this system can get crossed. Your feet lose their ability to moisturize themselves from the inside out. It's like a wall where the mortar starts to crumble. Cracks appear, and those cracks are more than just a nuisance. Only are open doors for unwanted guests like bacteria. To help with this, I recommend moisturizing your feet every single night, but with a small rule. Never put lotion between your toes, as that area needs to stay dry. Use something simple like pure coconut oil on the soles and heels. And remember, drinking those 8 glasses of water is just as important for your skin as it is for your heart. Sign number 6 is one that I want you to watch closely because it tells us about more than just your feet. It tells us how your kidneys are handling their work. We all get a little swelling if we stand all day, but if you notice that your feet and ankles are consistently puffy, or if your socks leave deep, lasting marks in your skin every evening, your body is trying to tell you something. High sugar levels can put a lot of stress on the body's filtration system. When the filters are working too hard, fluid can start to back up. Because of gravity, that fluid travels to the lowest point, your ankles. You can check this by gently pressing your finger into the swollen area. If the dimple stays there for a few seconds, that is a sign your system needs a bit of a rest. When you are relaxing in the evening, try to keep your feet elevated, perhaps on a couple of pillows. This helps the fluid move back toward your heart. Also, take a quiet look at the salt in your diet. Salt is like a sponge that holds onto water, making this swelling much heavier. Choosing fresh foods over those from a can can make a beautiful difference in how light your feet feel. Sign number 7 is frequently misunderstood, especially by men. I often hear people say they've been taking a little something for arthritis or an old injury because their feet have been aching. But sometimes that pain isn't in the joints at all. When your nerves are under stress from high sugar, they don't always go quiet and numb. Sometimes they do the opposite. They become hyperactive. They start sending sharp, intense signals that can feel like a sudden electric shock or a hot needle. This often happens at night when there are no other distractions. It's like a car alarm that has a glitch. It starts screaming in the middle of the night even though no one is touching the car. The pain is very real, but the cause is a nerve that is simply crying out for a more balanced environment. Sign number 8 is a clear indicator of how things are progressing. I often hear, "Oh, I've always had cold feet. I've used an electric blanket for 30 years. It's a common joke in many households. But if your feet feel cold, even in the middle of a warm July, or if they stay cold even under 3 heavy blankets, we need to look closer. This happens when the blood vessels have become a bit stiff, and the warmth of your blood isn't reaching your toes in a high enough volume. Think of it like the heating system in a house. If the pipes are too narrow, the furthest room stays chilly no matter how high you turn up the furnace. The best way to clear the pipes is a purposeful, brisk walk. Even 10 minutes of walking where you really swing your arms can force that warmth back down to your toes. Sign number 9 is the one almost nobody talks about, and even some professionals might overlook it. It is a very quiet sign. If you look at your lower legs and the tops of your feet, you might notice a visible absence of hair where there used to be some. Hair follicles are like tiny plants. They need a steady supply of water and nutrients from your blood to grow. When circulation is compromised over a long period, those follicles slowly stop producing. It's a very slow, painless change, but it's a visible marker of what's happening with your blood vessels. If you look down and see that the hair has thinned out significantly compared to years past, it's a gentle nudge from your body to go and get a simple checkup. We have walked through 9 signs together today. That is 9 opportunities to listen to your body and take a small positive step forward. I want to be very honest with you. One of the hardest parts of my day is meeting someone who has seen all these signs for years, but simply didn't know what they meant. They cared about their health, but they didn't have the map. Now you have that map. Tonight, I am asking you to do just one thing. Before you go to sleep, take 30 seconds to truly look at your feet. Check the skin, feel for the temperature, and look for any small marks. That 30 seconds could be the most important part of your day. If you see something that concerns you, talk to someone you trust or a professional tomorrow. Most of these things can be managed beautifully with simple changes: a walk, a different way of eating, and a little more water. You have worked hard for your independence and your life. Let's make sure you keep enjoying it for a long time to come. I share these thoughts every week because I believe we all deserve to know how to take care of ourselves as we grow wiser. If this was helpful, please share it with a friend or a family member who might need to hear it. Stay mindful, stay active, and please take good care of those feet. I look forward to our next talk.